Assalamu alaikum class. Today we will start from the topic of unit number 5, process of curriculum development in Pakistan. In this unit we will discuss about the process of curriculum development at elementary level, at secondary level, and also discuss the process of curriculum development in Pakistan, and also discuss the teacher role in curriculum development. Firstly, we will discuss the curriculum development at elementary level. Objectives of elementary education: to expand and strengthen the basis for secondary education, to meet the basic learning need of a child in terms of essential learning tool as well as the basic learning content. The third one is a set of moral values shall be specified, focused in each grade from Kachi to 8th class for practical learning and tarbiyah through various activities such as morning assembly, speeches, contests and other literacy programs, games and sport, salat in school premises, social welfare work, competition in cleanliness, etc. Special awards and incentives in the form of special marks in admission and promotional exams shall be given to students who observe these values. Curricula at elementary level. Uniform curricula for all the public and private schools shall be adopted gradually. All curricula grade 1 to 12 shall be revamped, making it a systematic whole and linking it to the teacher training and textbook reforms. A new and more logical, demanding and challenging curricula shall be developed, taking into account the provincial reservation involving the stakeholders in the process. The fourth one is emerging key issues such as computer literacy, population in environmental education, health education, AIDS education and values education, etc. shall be increasingly introduced and integrated in curricula. The fifth one is the span of primary elementary education including Kachi class shall be of 6 years. Kachi class shall be institutionalized in the primary cycle gradually and progressively. Textbook and instructional material at elementary level. Procurement of textbooks shall be non-monopolized along with improving their quality and lowering the cost. Tahti and slate at primary level shall be introduced again. Substantial increase shall be ensured in the non-salary recurrent expenditure on text, basic school supplies, learning material and procurement and distribution mechanism shall be improved. Proper supply of basic textbooks and availability of learning material is free of charge for the poor children shall be ensured at the start of school year. Similarly, the availability and use of supplementary reading material, library books and children literature shall be ensured. The next one is the curriculum development at secondary level. Objective of secondary education in Pakistan to prepare the student for the world of work as well as pursuit of professional and specialized education. To develop the personality of student as enlightened citizen of an Islamic state and peace-loving citizen of world at large. To ensure that all boys and girls who are desirous of entering secondary education are not deprived of their basic rights because of non-availability of schools. When we discuss the curriculum and learning material at secondary level, then we see that curriculum at secondary stage will be based on two principles. First, it will provide a compulsory core of subjects to give every student the knowledge useful for developing society. Secondly, it will include additional subjects and training to prepare the student for a definite career. The general and additional subjects will include awareness of problems like drugs, AIDS, and environment. The second one is curricula. For secondary stage, 9-10 shall be revised with a view to stimulate problem solving and independent thinking in the light of other activity objectives outlined above. Experts from private sector should also be associated with the process. The third one is supplementary teaching reading material and other educational classroom material shall be prepared based on the relevance of various concepts of life situation. The Provincial Textbook Board enjoy complete monopoly over production and distribution of textbooks due to the absence of healthy competition. They write their textbooks in a very traditional manner. Board have not considered the possibility of introducing innovation in their production. It is time to give new orientation to the whole process. So in the first example, the entire style of writing textbook will be transformed. In order to perform the operation effectively, the Ministry of Education will design models for evaluation of textbooks in selected discipline at secondary level. The tried out textbooks will then be handed over to the private publishers and the provincial textbook boards for designing their textbooks accordingly. The concept of competitive textbooks in science and English will be gradually introduced, initially in science and English at the secondary level. In order to control prices and quality, the federal and provincial government will continue to exercise their authority for review and approval. The approved textbooks will then be supplied to the Ministry of Education, and Ministry of Education will select at least 3 best books in each discipline. These books will become the recommended books for province or the entire country, depending upon the nature of books. A detailed mechanism will be worked out enabling choices. The examination will not be based on a single textbook as they are today. The paper setter will be free to choose their questions out of any one of the approved books. So this is all the process of curriculum development at elementary and secondary level. Now let's see the process of curriculum development at elementary and secondary level. First of all, we do a situational analysis. There is a need to be careful analysis of the situation in which a curriculum is planned and delivered, because you have the knowledge for whom you develop the curriculum. At a national level, it will include an analysis of what a nation wanted its citizens to gain from school and the nature, characteristics and needs of society. At the school level, it will be based upon a detailed description of the school context and an analysis of those factors that would and should affect curriculum decisions. The second one is aims, goals and objectives. A statement of the aims, goals and objectives of the curriculum at national level needs to be formulated. At this level, aims, goals and objectives will necessarily be somewhat broad because they apply to a whole population. But at the school level, these broad intentions are translated into more specific intentions because they are intended for a particular group whose needs and preferences should have been revealed in the analysis referred to above. Selection of content. It is necessary that decision be made about which of it is to be included in the curriculum. These decisions about the selection of content lie at the heart of curriculum development. What knowledge is most worthwhile, what should be included and what should be excluded. In a country with a national curriculum, a selection process will occur to choose what is included, and at the school level, a further selection will be made from general national statements. Learning experiences. There will be a statement about the learning experiences that will be offered to students. At the national level, document might contain pointers about contemporary knowledge, about how people learn and how this can influence curriculum decisions. At the national level, leaders usually said expect in broad terms, such as an indication of which subjects are preeminent and should be given more time than less. At the school level, more specific decisions are required. How the learning settings are to be organized and managed also needs to be straight. Evaluation and assessment. Evaluation of student learning is a necessary component. At the national level, broad policies will be outlined along with guidelines in particular subjects. At the school level, decisions are required about school-wide policies and evaluation strategies in all classrooms. So, these five aspects is very much important while we developing a curriculum at elementary and secondary level. Teachers' role in curriculum development process. The teacher should be closely associated with the planning and formulating of the curriculum. A resourceful teacher will not treat the curriculum as an end in itself, but will make it the basis of all-round education. The main aim, the main role of a teacher is to carry out the objectives and spirit underlying the curriculum, and teacher is the person who knows the needs of all stakeholders. Teacher can understand the psychology of the learner, are aware about the teaching method and strategies, and also play the role of evaluator for the assessment of learning outcomes. So teacher must possess some qualities such as planner, designer, manager, evaluator, researcher, decision maker, and administrator, and so on. To develop the curriculum from unknown to unknown and from concrete to abstract, and further to relate it to the physical and social environment of child. So overall we can see that teacher play the respective role for the each step of curriculum development process. Thank you.